Half a second. And the 99 has turned over Brad Keselowski.
And we have a caution.
My goodness.
I don't know if I'm okay.
Keselowski was on track for a 6th place finish.
Boy,
and we're told there was contact between Edwards and Keselowski.
And have we seen that somewhere once before?
Talladega last year and early in this race at lap 41.
A little crossover move here by Carl. Clean here, clean here. Just slight contact.
Oh,
look at that thing go.
That looked so much like Edwards' turnover at Talladega off the bumper of Keselowski.
It really did, and I'm so wondering and hoping that when they put the spoiler back on these cars, they'll quit turning over like this.
Keselowski's put the window net down.
The roof flaps deployed, but it did not sit that car back down. I'm like you, Darrell. I'm going to be so glad to see that rear spoiler back on these cars.
I think that's it's got to be something to that.
That car took a hard hit in the left A pillar, the windshield post right in front of the driver.
You just see how that wing sticks out so far out the back of the car, behind the car. It almost looks, if it'll create downforce with the car going forward, it's got to create a pocket of air behind it when it gets around backwards.
Guys, you saw it right there. Those white gloves, they made a turn to the right.
Brad Keselowski has climbed out of his Penske Dodge.
Oh, crash. Big. Oh, gosh. That was a hard wreck.
I think I'm okay, guys.
The one car of J.J. Yaley is involved. His Chevrolet has sustained some damage, but at over 185 miles an hour, 3 cars coming together. Eric McClure also sustaining damage in the 0 car.
88 car Keselowski, it's a big run off of turn 4. It's a big drag race down into turn 1. 3 wide, 4 wide, and that's not what you want to do. And he gets tagged in the right rear quarter panel. Allmendinger does, and Keselowski's like, where did this come from? I didn't even see that one coming. That was just one freak accident, and one car got in the back of that, and that's what started the whole thing.
Yeah, Brad Keselowski really got blindsided. He didn't see this coming at all. You see this 42 car gets sideways, gets into the right rear quarter panel, and then this 88 car just slams the wall, went up in the air.
Guys, I don't know if I've seen a harder wreck before going into turn 1 of my life. Thing on fire. Again, the soft wall that NASCAR's got at most all these racetracks really held up. And it was a great thing. And we saw Brad get out of the car. That's great. And boy, I'll tell you what, that reminds me of some bad accidents we've seen in this sport in the past. But thank gosh you could.
So he can, and especially, oh, look out! More than that.
Yellowed out.
I think Brad's going to be happy about that
Wall
one.
just past start finish here.
Race for second place.
See if you can get a crank up rolling.
And 2 teams
Now I've got no
competing
power
for the
to
Owners'
go.
Championship. One of them's in the
battery.
wall.
He basically just dumped him.
Certainly could have been avoided, no doubt about that.
Never to play 2.
Don't expect, unless you really mess up that first one. Oh no! Oh no!
Pow!
Oh no!
I mean, you could see that starting to happen in the middle of 3 and 4, and
Uh-oh! Watch out there in the qualifying line.
Yeah, that's when we widen out, you'll see just how close he is to those cars. Foreshortened by the camera lens, but I would say that's about 20 feet from Kyle Busch's car. 20-25 feet, no more than that.
so even though he's second quickest, it will be all for naught other than pit selection, because they will have to go to a backup car.
This thing slaps the wall pretty daggum hard.
And Darrell, he was about a groove up from where he went through there the first time.
Yeah, that is man, and that's right there at the end of the safer barrier too. I think he caught more concrete than he did barrier. Boy, right here, this wasn't looking too promising either. He's headed right for the car sitting over there in the qualifying line. This thing just snaps out from under him, and when he tries to catch it, she just corrects into the wall.
Yeah, he didn't get much of the safer barrier at all, maybe with the rear bumper.
And that was hard. That was heavy impact.
Right about there, he does a very smart thing, keeps the car locked down, trying to get that slide stopped, and does.
Yeah, the first time through there, he was hugging that white line.
Yeah, you know, there's a chance you take.
Deal with Brad Keselowski. Keselowski fights back on the inside.
Whatever happens now, this race will be
touch. Keselowski gets into Edwards. They save it. Drag race down the backstretch now.
That's that half car length I was talking about. They both survived it. Let's see what happens in turn 3.
Reed Sorensen waiting in the wings. Here's Keselowski on the inside. Carl Edwards, can he make it stick on the outside? Brad thought he had the best car all night. Took the inside line in the restart. This is going to be down to the wire. Whoa! Touch! He spun out. Carl gets into Keselowski. Carl Edwards will win.
That's it. Checker flag. Superstar, man. You are the man. He deserves it. Good job.
I just hope Keselowski's okay here. That was a hard hit, guys.
That was ugly. Wreck behind you. Just slow it down. Slow it down. There's a big wreck here.
Big contact on Keselowski as the other cars racing to the finish came to the line. And Keselowski got spun around hard. Carl Edwards going for the win.
We're gonna have plenty to talk about here.
Well, there's no question. Damage to the 60 as they came to the line. And there's Brad moving around in the 22 car. That is very, very good news.
And this is 2 problem weeks for Brad. I hate it for him to run out of gas last weekend. Crashes at the start-finish line this weekend. But boy, he was running great tonight. A good car throughout the night for Brad.
Let's take a look at how this happened. Did Carl wreck Brad? Was it just contact? Let's take a look.
It looks to me as though Carl thought that he was cleared and he was going to do a crossover and maybe misjudged that.
Boom, right there. Is that Bliss or Howard?
It's Colin Brown gets hit also and spun around. 88 car Steve Arpin. You see Luffler involved in this.
Here it is again. Carl's got that outside run. Thinks he's got the room to do it. Boy, that's such a hard angle to see if Brad came up to block in any way.
Carl didn't lift. We can confirm that.
There's no question there.
Guys, you got to remember, you're coming to the start-finish line, too. This is hard to say it was his fault or somebody else's fault. It's the money lap. The flag's waving.
Watch this hit by Keselowski. He's stuck on the inside line there.
We watch this race for the lead. You see Vickers there falling in line, and a spin. It is Brad Keselowski.
Caution down. All right, listen. We hit the wall like we did the Nationwide car. The nose will probably be pushed down a little bit, get around the corner. Leaders behind you. Leaders behind you if you can catch up. Oh, I'm pretty good here, John. We hit like Brian Scott did the Nationwide race.
So there was a race for 7th place that involved a whole gaggle of cars. Brian Vickers and Brad Keselowski were in it. Watch the 55.
Yeah, I think Vickers had a tire going down to it, just wasn't able to get going. You can see Kurt Busch get into the back of Brad Keselowski, turned him into the outside wall. That started the trouble for the 2.
And so then eventually what got Keselowski turned around?
A little help from Bobby Labonte.
Almost like to get another look at that angle because I'm not so sure he wasn't starting to go around first when he got the rest of that help.
Yeah, he may have.
Come on. All right, we're going to have more damage now. All right, we're caution down. All right, listen. We hit the wall like we did the Nation.
Oh, trouble.
Yeah, who's this?
Turn 3.
Hey, bud.
Into the wall goes Keselowski.
They were 3 wide getting in there. I was just about ready that there was going to be trouble in turn 3, and sure enough.
And there's more. Another car involved after.
You can see right in here, there's just a big wad of cars, and
Robbie Gordon.
Like Robbie got into the back of Brad. And you know, you just can't say what happened. You don't know if Brad had to lift. You don't know if he was trying to change lanes.
That's what sent Smith to the infield.
He got down there and hit Joey Logano in the 20 that got into the side of Regan Smith in the 78.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty hard lick on that 20 too, Larry. Robbie gets a little contact.
Oh, Tony, big miss right there.
Great job there.
Look at Montoya.
Once again just slips by. Then
as he comes down the track,
when he comes down the hill, this is when
trouble.
he's going to get into the side of the 20 car. Right there.
Look at Stephen Wallace in that 77. What a job.
He missed one.
What a job by him, though.
Yay!
Right here in front. Stay low, stay low, stay low, stay low. Just check up, stay low. Get on the apron, on the apron.
That sounded pretty hard.
You see the 29 problems with Brad Keselowski. His first run here in a truck.
There's Chase Montgomery, the 8 truck right there.
Brad's been able to adapt to these trucks in a hurry and run competitively. I don't know what happened here, but his speed has been impressive.
This is, I think, his 3rd start in the truck. Unfortunately, it's going to come to an early end. Drive down the front straightaway.
It blew up.
Yeah, sure did. Look at that.
That'll cause you to crash.
No, did you see the 8 truck getting sideways in the oil right there? Certainly no fault of Brad's.
And the leaders had the leaders just lapped him?
No, I don't know if there's Hank Parker Jr., the 21 truck. He's currently in the 17th position, so they were comfortably on the lead lap when that happened.
Running on board with Andy Houston. You see it behind him.
Brad Keselowski going around.
This could be ugly.
Back up across the track. Big damage. A number of cars collected. Dave Blaney, Greg Biffle.
Yeah, man, whenever you see a car coming back across the racetrack like that, you know it's going to be a bad deal.
Travis Kvapil nowhere to go.
Wow.
You think about how great Biffle has been in recent weeks, and simply nothing he could do about that one.
And, you know, the marks start exiting the tri-oval here. When you look down and you see the marks from the 2 car, it's like somebody got into him and turned him around, and there was nothing he could do. He was just along for the ride.
He got tagged by Kurt Busch, went down on the apron. When he came back up on the racetrack, he got into the left rear of Brad. Nothing Brad could do. Like you said, at that point, Brad's for the ride, goes along for the ride, and tore up a lot of race cars right there. Watch the 78 car goes down on the apron, then he comes sliding back up, and he just turns the 2 car.
And it is a very harsh transition. We saw it during some of the qualifying laps. A harsh transition from the flat up to the race, back up onto the racetrack.
Watch this race for the lead. You see Vickers there falling in line. And a spin, it is Brad Keselowski. We hit the wall like we did the nationwide car.